Hi, this is Shubhashish Shukla. What is data visualization? Simple, data in a visual format like pie chart, bar chart, or any other kind of chart. Generating chart on UI can be a very typical task. To make this simple, we have a library named Highchart. Let's see how to use Highchart in our UI project. So let's first set up a simple bootstrap template and then we will start using Highcharts. So I will probably go for CDN. Here's Max CDN. Okay, here's the CSS and the JavaScript. So I'll take the HTML part and in some Sublime text, create a new document, save it as index.html, create a simple HTML document, and we have our CSS, go for JavaScript. So here's the JavaScript, but for Bootstrap JavaScript, we have a dependency named jQuery, and even for Highchart basically is on jQuery, so we will need that too. Here's the code.cdn. Let's take the minified version because we won't be editing any jQuery. So copy. Okay, so now we have Bootstrap CSS, jQuery, and Bootstrap minified JS. So for now, let's create simple div container. And inside this container, we'll simply create some rows. Let's go for SM6 and call MD6, copy this and paste it like 4 times. Okay, simple. Now let's create a div for placing a chart and give it an ID. Let's say I'm giving this ID like container1. Okay, now search for Highcharts. Highcharts demo. Let's for a first container take basic line chart and select this option edit in JSFiddle. So in JSFiddle we have HTML, JavaScript, CSS. We are not using any CSS. And here's the result. So first of all, copy this JavaScripts, place them in the header for now. Okay. And there is our function, which is basically a jQuery function, and it is taking a parameter which is JSON. So copy this entirely and create a, not here, outside, create a simple script tag, and within this script tag let's place our code. And since we have this container1, so rename it to container1. So what this is basically doing, this is jQuery selector. It will select the container1, any element with the ID container1. So we have this div with ID container1. So this will be selected, and after this Highcharts function is executed, the chart will get generated and it will get dropped inside this container. Okay, so save it for now. Let's try. It's loading. So as you can see, the first chart, we have our first chart, and we have this tiny button that has option to print chart and download the chart as a couple of images. This is because of this small library named exporting modules / exporting JS, which is responsible for this. If you want 3D, like your charts to have a 3D look, there is also a library named Highcharts -3D. So it is not supported by all of the charts, but yeah, it is supported by some, and it gives a nice 3D look to your charts. Okay, so now we have one chart. Let's have 4 of them. So let's go for something. Let's take logarithmic axis, add it in JS Fiddle. Take this, put it, let's close this. Again, change the container to container 2. Let's have one more container here. Okay, so rename this 1, 2, 3. If you will have same container ID, 2 charts may be same. Okay, container 2, close this one, and let's go for something. Let's go for a pie chart. Give this ID of container 3 and one more. Go for a 3D chart, the example that I was giving. So let's say 3D pie chart. Okay, edit in JS Fiddle. Now this one has this extra JavaScript Highcharts 3D. We need this. Give this ID container 4 and have that 3D. Okay, so we have all of the 4 charts working. So in the next video, I'll probably let you know how we can just use jQuery to loop through the data in JSON and pass the data into the function of these charts to get desired result.